Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot card reading all about what your person in mind is hiding. So we are going to dive into anything that they have kind of going on behind the scenes, as well as things that they're just not telling you right now, what they're hiding, of course. So without further ado, make sure you get yourself into a receptive mode. If you need to know how to pick a card, I have a video linked down below as always to show you how to do that, so check that out if needed. But this is our group 1, group 2, and group 3. Timestamps are provided below. I'll see you at your time. Hey group 1, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading all about what they are hiding. So for your astro cards, we have the 12th house, we have the 10th house, and the numinous, as well as the Dreamer of Tomes, 5 of Candles, the Wheel of Fortune, and 9 of Vials. Alrighty. So right away what I'm hearing is this person is at a pinnacle. They're at a turning point in their life where I think they are letting go of some things that they've done for a really long time and trying to pick up things that they've never done before. Honestly, it's a very vulnerable time, I feel like, for this person, and they don't exactly know how to really share that with people. I feel like they are kind of trying to find their own fulfillment, you know, because the 9 of Vials to me is personal satisfaction and feeling fulfilled. So this is part of this person's, I think, inner journey that they're taking right now, is really finding out what is worth their time and investment and what's not. And partially, I think the issue for this person right now and what they're hiding from you is that they don't really know, honestly. Like the 12th house, the numinous here, like even the 5th house, or the 5th house, the 5 of Candles here just tells me that this person feels like they are almost battling themselves to really uncover this. And 12th house being this energy of self-undoing, needing to surrender to just seeing yourself in a different light, honestly, is what I'm getting here. This person is kind of having a tougher time doing that. And I think the reason behind that is because they have, like I said, done things for so long a certain way. Oh my God, I didn't even see this here. The word pinnacle is literally on this card, if you can see it. So yeah, this is totally like a turning point for these people. And they're hiding this because they feel inferior, I think, because of this. Like I said, it's like the comparison that's coming to mind is like when you are in school, you know, you go from like 1st grade to 5th grade, and then, you know, you start off as a baby, and then you get all the way to the top of the school, and then boom, you're in 6th grade again, and you're starting off at the bottom of the food chain, working your way up to the 8th grade, and then boom, you know, 9th grade, you're at the bottom of the food chain again. And I feel like this is kind of like, you know, that's the thing about this pinnacle. It's coming to an end, so this person is coming into a new phase where they have to be this new, vulnerable, young person again. And I think it makes them really uncomfortable, honestly, because like I said, when you just do things for so long a certain way, there's just such a resistance, I think, that you deal with. And that's what this 5 of Candles is standing out to me. But the Dreamer of Tomes does show that they are trying to put in the work to understand this, but I think they're just so new to this journey of maybe self-discovery and, like I said, self-fulfillment, that they really are trying out their options right now. Wheel of Fortune, they're trying out literally like everything that they can. All the little details are being kind of mushed together and blended in certain ways for them to kind of figure out how they work best together. And I feel like for this person, it's just a matter of time before things just really start to become apparent to them. But time is the biggest thing here. You know, it's going to take time, and this person feels really vulnerable in the space that they are, so they can't, I feel like, appreciate the time that all of this is taking, you know. That's part of their development, I feel like. And this is something that they hide for, like I said, like an inferiority thing. They don't want to feel like they are any less than anybody else. 10th house, 12th house, you know, there's like this oneness that almost keeps this person satisfied, but it's like an outward satisfaction instead of like an inward satisfaction. This person like needs to individuate, and they need to find things that work for them specifically, and I feel like that's just not where they've been ever before. You know, they've mastered kind of like the outside things and the outside energies, but not really the stuff within them, and not the things that make them feel good. And I think a part of that process for them is realizing that, you know, like the things that they've been doing for so long aren't everything, and sometimes it's okay to like move on to a new project or a new goal too, because this person seems to not understand that at times, like that once you complete a goal to move on to the next one, and then like they almost have this thing of like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, is kind of this energy too that I see here. But to clarify more, we have the ship, as well as the gentleman and the key. So this person feels like, again, like this gentleman energy is like feeling like they need to be more proper or more caught up than what they actually may be. I think of this also being like primal energy, like masculine energy, but being paired with the dreamer of tomes here, it's like you don't know exactly everything you need to know, but you may be acting like it. Or I mean, this person is, and I think that's kind of what they hide, is they hide maybe how confused they are. And with the ships here, with the 10th house and numinous, it's almost like this person feels like they can't get exactly what they want out of the situation. And I think this has to do with this 9 of Vials here with the sun. Yeah, like they can't get their happiness. They can't be optimistic, I think, about all of the good things that happen to them, because they feel like they've like they're just missing something, honestly. Like they're missing out on something important to them. They're almost putting on this facade of being completely pleased and just satisfied with whatever they have, but in reality, they feel like they're missing something. And the key here is kind of like what they are hiding. I feel like this is kind of like showing that 5 of Candles, Wheel of Fortune, that energy together was what I was talking about, of being able to kind of learn and drop what you're doing right now to like actually learn a lesson and move on. But it's like this uncomfortableness and like maybe this challenge that they are being presented with is actually what's doing that to them, but they don't see that all the way. Like I said, like they are trying to keep things so secure on the surface that it's hard for them to actually let go and surrender to this lesson. And the ship here does show like that in limbo energy as well. Like they just haven't really found out what it is that will truly make them happy and feel successful. But I mean, I feel like these people are really close, and I was saying, like they don't know it yet because they see it almost as a loss because they're more confused than what they've been before. But it's like, I mean, you got so used to what you were doing before, and it didn't help you all the way. Like it provided only like a stepping stone to what you actually needed to do. And this person in a way is hiding that they feel like they're a failure in some degree, or like a phony in some degree, because they haven't mastered everything completely. But it's like, it takes time. Like I said, time is a big thing here. So with the stork here, this is like, this person needs to go back and look at their patterns and look at what they've done and make a new idea out of it. That's the 10th house and 12th house energy. It's taking those old goals and those old aspirations and kind of rationalizing them, honestly. Like, sometimes things can be, rationalize isn't a word for it, because you're not even rationalizing it. Like the idea in itself was rational, but it's like it didn't have the emotional substance. Yes, that's exactly it. Like this person is realizing that they didn't have the emotional substance in their goals. It was just material based. It was like, I'm going to do things, like I said, for the look of it, for that status, for that, for the money. Like, honestly, like this is that kind of energy, and it's not about this person so much about their own happiness. And now that they're dissatisfied because what they've created outside, like I said, it doesn't match the light that they feel can be like nurtured within, honestly. Like this person knows that they deserve a better feeling, but like they don't also at the same time. They don't know how to really accept that, because like I said, it feels like a loss. But it's like, you honestly, like this person, I think they're even hiding this from themselves, is that they've gone through something that gives them a win. Like this loss is a win, and it's hard for them to see that. And I think that's why they're hiding it from you, is because they're hiding it from themselves. Like they're trying to process this on their own. The numinous here, this is very mysterious energy. It's unclear, but it's intuitive, and it means a lot, I think, to this person's development, for them to just kind of allow all of what has been to kind of come together and show them truly like what they're made of and truly what they can do with that energy. Because I feel like they are undermining themselves, like what I was saying about that inferiority energy. They hide that kind of feeling even from themselves at times. Like there's a pride that this person isn't always able to reach within themselves. But I think, like I said, if they just go back and really see like what they can surrender to, what they can let go of, what they can really embody also, like they're able to actually do something and come into their energy a little bit better and more. And that's kind of the point of all this, this pinnacle moment in their life. But it just feels so uncomfortable for this person that they don't really know how to share it. They don't know how to admit that they feel kind of like lost right now, or like they're in a weird place, because I feel like mentally where they're at and physically where they're at like don't line up. Like where they are, like their stability physically may be way better than it is mentally, or I mean maybe vice versa. But honestly, I just feel like it's more so like this person needs to figure things out in a very like spiritual sense, like they need to put an essence into their goals and into their dreams and into what they're doing. Honestly, like it needs to have more of a special touch and feeling involved in it that I think this person was kind of overlooking for so long, that now that they're at this place, they're like, like it's hard for them to admit to themselves, let alone you, that this is a pickle that they're in, I think. So I really feel though that this person is also hiding from you maybe how you bring them back to seeing this too in themselves. Like maybe you guys have been a really big like shining light to this area of their life, like you've shined a lot of light on it, I should say, to the side of them that hasn't really been able to be fulfilled. With the Sun card here and then the Key, I just feel like you guys often provide the kind of maybe empowerment, insight, or just encouragement for this person to see themselves clearly and see their goals clearly, and just at the same time, provide more substance, because I feel like you guys have that kind of substance here, and I think they hide, like I said, that inferiority about that. They want to have that kind of substance themselves, but they don't really know how to. But I feel like it's all working out for them, and at the same time, like they're just growing at their own pace. And while they're hiding who they truly are and maybe the confusion that they truly have, it's all a matter of time, I think, for this person before they actually are able to unlock, their own mysteries, and I think utilize them in the best way, which I think will bring them the happiness they're looking for. But yeah, I think that is all I have for this reading. So group 1, I hope this message resonated for you guys about what they are hiding from you. So if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more channeled messages from me. But if you would like extra pick-a cards or a personal reading from me, I offer those on my Patreon and Instagram, which is linked down below, so check those out. But otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle, and I will see you in a later video. Peace. Hey group 2, let's get started with today's pick a card reading all about what they are hiding from you. So diving in with your astro cards first and foremost, we have 6th house, Jupiter, and North Node, 6 of Tomes, 3 of Vials, Ace of Candles in reverse, Mystic of Candles, and Creator of Tomes in reverse. So right away with the 6th house, Jupiter, and North Node, I feel like this person is hiding maybe how much they're working to refine themselves, refine what they're doing, and just seek, I think, answers elsewhere. They don't seem to be very traditional in the way that they are trying to gather answers and gather just insights about things, people, etc. So I feel like this person honestly hides maybe where they come from and all of the knowledge that they do have and hold too, because with the Ace of Candles here, this would be like that insight sharing, and where the Mystic of Candles is like holding on to that insight and using it almost as a wise touch here and there. And I feel like this person almost knows more than what they share, So that's an interesting thing that I feel like this person may hide. I also feel like this person may hide their own destiny from other people, if that resonates for a few of you out there too. But I think this person just may know a lot more, like I said, than what they lead on. And that is something that they do and means to protect themselves, I think, from getting involved with the wrong people. Or maybe just waiting for the right people and the right time, you know, the right place, etc., for this kind of stuff to emerge. Because like I said, I feel like there's almost a wisdom about how they share this information, that they're not just gonna like let it go willy-nilly with you. So maybe that's just what they want to tell you in general, or how they explain things in general. But I feel like to a degree this person does come from a complete different place than what you may think, and they hide that from you because it's kind of like on a need-to-know basis is how they feel. And with the Creator of Tomes here in reverse with the Mystic of Candles upright, I just feel like they may come off a lot more stern and, I don't know, just more like dictatorial, I guess, and authoritative than what they actually are. I feel like this person is actually a really like a soft person, and I just feel like they have a side to them that they don't really share with you that maybe has a bigger heart than what you may see in this person. Six of Tomes, Three of Vials gives me the energy of like this person being a good friend, a really good team player, but not somebody that really has a lot of intimate connections too at the same time. Like they can't I think break that barrier a lot, or they choose not to at the same time, I guess, because they don't, like I said, they want to make sure that the information that they give to people is select and honestly worthwhile for every kind of circumstance that they're dealing with. They're not just going to say things just to say them or do things just to do them. This person is very purposeful in their actions, and I feel like they hide this because, like I said, they almost want like the right people to know. And sometimes I think the right person isn't always you know, and that's kind of a weird thing about this person, is that they kind of understand how to give energy in certain places and not in others. And I think they do it for a deliberate reason that they don't really share with people at the same time too. This is a very interesting message. I was not expecting to go this route, but let's get a few more cards here to clarify some things. So let's talk about this Six of Tomes and Three of Vials. Three of Tomes, interesting. So they like to share. Like there's a collaboration energy that I think this person may not show all the time, because they seem to be like off on their own, like hard to reach, and just kind of doing their own thing with the Magician here. Like they don't have too much things that tie them down, I think, in ways that tie other people down. And I think this is something that is hard for them to share. Yeah, we have the Eight of Swords here. I think now with that coming out here, this kind of makes it clear to me that this person has a hard time sharing because they just get in their own way with it. You know, they have a hard time breaking down the wall of like these differences, and you know, the like breaking away these boundaries and making you guys relate to each other in a way that's more than just, you know, surface level. I feel like this person keeps it real kosher and tries to keep everybody happy, but at the same time there's like a depth that is lacking here, that I think this person hides. Like, you know, they hide their depth is what I'm saying. Like they don't readily show all that they know for some reason. Why is that, Spirit? Like why does this person hide so much? Because it's like a very general, like what they're hiding. It's like a general knowledge, a general like thing that they do, that they hide. So maybe this person is doing, like crafting something, becoming something that they're proud of. Honestly, that they want to be proud of, but they can't share it yet because they're not proud of it, is kind of what I'm feeling. Right here, Six of Cups in reverse. Interesting. You guys have like this weird dynamic, I feel like, where they just, like I said, like for some reason they don't want to share with you stuff, or something in specific. And I feel like it has to do with like there's money, there's like a project energy here, or like I said, becoming something, becoming someone. Page of Wands in reverse, King of Wands upright. Yeah, like I said, they're playing almost like they're hustling you in a way. Like they like know, like I said, they know more than what they show. And I think this may be a very spiritually oriented person. And if not like in the traditional, like, you know, like this kind of thing where they can like talk to spirits or something like that, or if they're like religious, you know, like if it's not that, it's more so like this person has a knowing of where they're going, what they're doing, and a drive really to make things happen. And I think this person doesn't show all the time like where their plans are, like what their plans are, like where they're headed, but they know exactly what they're doing at the same time. And I think they play like this damsel in distress vibes at the same time. This is very, very interesting because this person almost gives me the like a weird vibe, but like the face that they're putting on is a protection thing too. Like this person really wants to make sure that, like I said, they're sharing the right thing with the right people for some reason, is what I'm hearing. Let's get some more cards here. With the King of Cups here in reverse, that's also like that nurturing energy. Like a lot of the nurturing energy just doesn't show up the way that I feel like it should. And I feel like maybe that's this person too, is that's what they hide, is like they don't really know how to nurture. They don't really know how to like show as like a side of them that like I said, like can get past these boundaries. Like they just have like these weird blocks with being able to relate and to share, that is just like, I don't know, like they don't want to do it for some reason, but they have something that they're working on that they feel, I think, proud of, but they don't also, like I said, they don't know how to share it and maybe get the support that they want. But we have the Heart here, we have the Fox. Yeah, this is like the going out on your own, doing your own thing. And really being led by your own passions too with these two together. I feel like this person is definitely doing something right now that they feel like called to do in a way. And like they're, like I said, they're playing like kind of dumb about it to other people, because it's like, if I share too much of this, like, I don't know, like I'm losing something almost. There's like, yeah, there's something to be lost to a degree. So I feel like this person is just kind of going off on their own and needing to go off on their own journey, you know, like their own hopes and dreams are things that they really need to focus on and fulfill, and they just know that other people can get in the way of that, I feel like. So when they look back at, you know, themselves and other people and past circumstances, I feel like they just feel like they had to be alone and like they would have been better off alone. So I think that's kind of how they move through things. And that kind of stunts them. I feel like it stunts them being able to get what they want, because they almost are being too cold to accept it, you know? Not cold necessarily, but there's no there's a lack of acceptance that I think this person has. Like they can't really move into this new phase that they're trying to build for themselves, because they're not allowing themselves to look into their own energy and understand themselves clearly. You know, they're just kind of taking, I feel like, this knowledge and using it to further defend the beliefs and things that they have. You know, like it's almost like this person has forgotten to take into account their own personal needs and desires for so long that now they're almost like overcompensating when they do it, and they just don't share. This is kind of like Cancer energy to me, honestly, how Cancer, even Capricorn, like they have their own MO in mind, like they have their own plan, but they do whatever they can to be unbothered by other people. And I feel like this is kind of this person's energy, where they just don't want to be bothered. They don't want people to tell them what to do. And literally, as I said, that we have the Moon coming out, Cancer, and then the Book. So this to me, 222, yeah, this person is doing something that they feel called to do, like they need to do it, but they're trying to like honestly maintain a good balance between their spirit and their emotions. And if they get too involved and share too much, I feel like this person feels like almost too vulnerable and like too available. So they're trying to get in a balanced state where they can share. But like I said, there's going to be a wisdom with it, and they're going to do it in a way that they want to. And I think that's also what this person is working on, like crafting for themselves, is a way for them to be able to talk to people that feels right to them. Because I feel like they just haven't had many opportunities like that in the past, where like the communication or just the relating with other people worked out really well. I think this person often got lost in the bigger picture of things, instead of really looking at the details of, like I said, what they wanted and what they wanted to do. There's something about kind of regaining balance that this person is hiding, that kind of roots why they're doing what they're doing, why they're only sharing the things that they're sharing and not sharing other things. I think, like I said, there's just trying to figure themselves out that is kind of painful to this person, but also like just something that they want to do alone, and like they know that they need to do this alone too. And finally, we have the crossroads here, which this is all about like new ways of thinking and just kind of being in the middle of a process, you know, that transition phase. And like I said, like this person is, you know, coming from one way of thinking to the other and being in that standstill, trying to like leverage, you know, which way to go at which time. And while I think they hide how much they've changed, and like I said, maybe their mindsets now and like where they are coming from versus maybe where you're coming from, you know, for the sake of a relationship, I feel like with the Four of Wands here, I think they did this, you know, with good intentions in mind, but not necessarily knowing how to share those intentions. And I feel like that's kind of like the water energy being so kind of misrepresented in this reading, not necessarily on the part of like the cards or anything, but on this person, you know, their energy, their emotions are being almost misrepresented because they have such a strong knowing of where they're going and what they're doing that it's like they don't stop to really feel it and feel that emotional side to them, or at least they don't want themselves to do it out in public, you know, in the day-to-day thing. I think it's very select moments that this person lets their guard down and really lets themselves actually feel bad for themselves. But I feel like they, like I said, there's something about like not sharing everything, you know, and almost like I said, hustling, that is like, it comes up almost because this person is not super familiar with maybe their own mental strength. So I think that is something that too that they are coming to learn, that like they have an effect on people and they want to use it appropriately, I think is a big thing here. Yeah, we have honor. So they really want to be recognized for the best things, you know, be their higher self, be the best self. And I think that's kind of their way of doing it, is slow and steady. They're going to pick the right things at the right moments and actually, you know, not be so impulsive maybe like they've been in the past, and do things more from a heart-centered place and an emotional place. But for them to be able to do that, like I said, they have to look back at themselves and see, you know, where they've been coming from and where, like, what they've been doing. And I think a lot of this just happens from them being quiet and reserved and figuring out on their own. And that is why they are hiding it from you, is because they know that this is just something they got to do on their own. So group 2, I hope this message resonated for you guys, and if it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel because I love to give you guys intuitively channeled messages. If you guys would like extra pick a card readings from me or a personal reading, check out my Instagram or Patreon link down below as always. But otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle, so I will see you guys in a later video. Peace. Alrighty, group 3, let's get started with your reading all about what they are hiding from you. So, diving in, starting with your astro cards, we have Saturn, Venus, and Pisces, as well as the 8 of Vials, 7 of Vials, Explorer of Candles, and 2 of Candles. Okay, so right away I'm feeling like this person doesn't know how to love appropriately, and that is what they are hiding from you. This person feels like they don't know exactly what they want out of life and what they really want out of a relationship. I feel like this person's needs were probably suppressed early on in their life, and therefore they just don't really know what they want and what they need in life. Like I said, like the wants and needs things for this person seems to be really clouded to them. And I feel like this solution for them to, you know, fill this void within themselves is to just give themselves away completely without any real understanding of the kind of commitment they're making. So then sometimes this person can get themselves into things that they're not ultimately satisfied with. So I feel like this person may be hiding from you how they have a hard time seeing value in themselves. So consequently within relationships, I feel like they just struggle with relationships in that regard because they just really don't know what's their right to, you know, stand up for and what's not. But I think this person is honestly somebody that is willing to learn and willing to kind of, I don't know, make the choice that will better suit them in the future. I think this person really does kind of look past. You know, they see a lot of potential in things and kind of view life through this lens more of like potential. You know, some people could call it like rose-colored glasses, but at the same time, this person has such a long scope or whatever you would call it, you know, for their future. You know, with Saturn here, this is long-term energy. So Saturn and Venus, while it is kind of restricting to the energies of, you know, love, relationships, values, etc., things of the Venus nature, you know, Saturn with a touch of Venus is also a good energy for commitment and being able to grow a lasting kind of relationship and love and values that, you know, withstand the test of time too. So I just feel like this person is able to sort of see, like I said, past people's imperfections or situations' imperfections almost to a fault, like I said, where they put themselves into really shitty situations, honestly. I'm gonna be blunt here, you know, because self-pitying came up to me and like escapist. And 8 of Vials here, like this was the energy of like sometimes just wanting to like leave situations because you're not satisfied, but then also not really realizing at the same time how much your own mindset and maybe just your own energy towards a situation, what you're giving to a situation may not be 100%, because 7 of Vials here too, you know, like this technically comes before this, but if you look at it of a sense of like this dissatisfaction coming before really looking into what's going on, you know, I feel like that's kind of where this person is coming from, and I feel like they hide this because they want to seem like they're sure of themselves. You know, Explorer of Candles here is a very ferocious knight that, you know, is here to make change happen in a very fiery sense, you know, just coming in, blazing through. So I feel like this person's kind of hiding this more reluctant, reserved part of themselves that really doesn't have a sure idea of where they're coming from and really how to maneuver a relationship. And this is kind of scary, I think, also to this person, because it really makes them, you know, see themselves in a different light too. Like I said, it's like they can't really value themselves already. So this relationship kind of gives them a run for their money, basically, where they really have to, I think, they're being tested, honestly, that side of themselves. And that is extremely intimidating, I think, to these people, just because they have a hard time getting to know themselves better when they've, you know, given so much of themselves away all the time. So to take that energy back, I just feel like it's really uncomfortable for this person. Getting more clarity, we have the Star here, we have the Flames, and we have the Mountains, and Hand in Hand. This is exactly what I was just saying here with like this person has given away so much of their energy that it's like they just feel like they don't have it. They feel like they don't have their own sparkle to really give. So I think in relationships, you know, they kind of look to other people to help them out with it, honestly. Like it's like a defeatism that this person feels like they aren't worth whatever they, you know, feel like they should be worth in the same sense. You know, there's almost like an entitlement here that really gets that really like hurts Venus energy, I feel like, with Saturn. And with Pisces too, it's like you're not really even being able to see where it's coming from because you're just so giving and not really noticing why or where it's going. So I feel like this person has a hard time really getting to the bottom, like I said, of their own energy and seeing themselves and maybe seeing their imprint and what it's doing for the relationship clearly. You know, with the Flames here, I feel like you know, their way of being upset and dealing with their issues is just kind of like avoiding them, walking away. With Pisces, 8 of Vials here, this is really avoidant energy to me. But only because they just fear what they're going to be dealing with. You know, there's, like I said, a reluctance to actually dive deeper into things, because it's like, if I dive deeper into things, you know, what am I going to be met with? What am I going to see? Who am I going to see? You know, like, who is this person that I've been, you know, in partnership with? If you see here with a Hand in Hand, who is this person that I've been dealing with? You know, it's almost like I said, they see so much potential. It's like reality is a hard thing for them. And while it's like, you know, I feel like you guys understand the reality of relationships, maybe even too harshly, where it's like this person isn't practical, or vice versa. Like somebody just has too much of a like rose-colored glasses, like I said, but like with a hint of just skepticism that really is like getting in the way of this relationship and making things hard. And I think they hide this because it's like they can't even see it themselves. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of all of these piles so far, is everybody's just unable to really see their own issues clearly. But at the same time, you know, it's a matter of, like I said, really giving in to the feeling, that drive to just move on and tackle the problem, I feel like. Or not even move on necessarily, but like I think move on from that resistance is what it boils down to. I mean, that's like where they start to get out of this energy, but I don't know if they're there yet. Honestly, I think they're trying to, and I think through relationships they try to. I feel like they have the energy of like aging like wine and getting better over time. Like they have a better understanding of themselves over time in relationships, and I think they hide this from you because they've honestly just learned this for themselves. They don't really know that much about love and everything about it, you know, like they don't know their needs and their desires just yet, but they're working on it. Like they're learning about it, and I think they are coming to see you as somebody that's actually available to them to like work on these sorts of things, perhaps, which is only helping them get to that place of being able to actually, you know, like have and give love the way that they want to. And I think this person, just like I said, has hid this from you because there is just such a reluctance to see this side of themselves, and to feel like, honestly, you know, with Pisces here and Venus, it's almost like there's a satisfaction that they would get from being, you know, this sacrificial person, but when you're doing it in like a wrong way where you're completely ignoring your own individual values, like I feel like this person has, that, you know, it makes your relationships hard. It makes it hard to have healthy relationships that last a long time, which is actually what this person wants. So, you know, I think this person may go through a bit of an understanding about like what this side of them actually is and how it actually is impeding their, you know, love affairs, their relationships, their ability to really shine and give the sparkle to the world. Because Venus is also what you give, you know, I mean, in a sense of like creation and like just kind of a radiation from you almost. So with the mountain here too, it's just like this person has to feel like they are worthy of it, and they have to kind of overcome this feeling like their needs aren't worth it. And I think they hide this from you, like I said, once again, because they hide this from themselves, and they're only just able to get into that mindset of like that it may be a them problem once they get into a real committed relationship where they feel safe and they feel kind of seen appropriately too. I think, you know, you seeing this person clearly, or anybody really helps this person kind of come out from hiding, I feel like. But I feel like for this person, it's a matter of kind of being soft and being you know, maybe aware of their resistance so you can shine it back at them, because I feel like they are just hiding from it. So when you can kind of, you know, just show them it's not that scary, I think that this person actually would enjoy that. But that's kind of off topic, but still, I think that they do hide basically their fears about all of this too, with the Pisces as well as the Saturn energy. But let's see if we have any final messages for you guys. Oop. We have the Six of Swords here in reverse, upright. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this is what I was talking about with the needs not being met. You know, they don't know how to feel personally fulfilled and have healthy relationships, but I think they're working on it, and they're leaving behind this mindset that they're not safe enough to talk about it. You know, this to me is like you've been helped by somebody to move on to a safer place, and that's exactly where they're headed, and it's just kind of begun for them. So I feel like this person, it's just like only a matter of time really, and just consistent nurturing, honestly, that this person, oh my God, I said consistent nurturing and the Empress came out. Literally, this person just needs to be loved, guys. Like, literally give them compassion, give them love, empathy, and I feel like they'll open up and start to actually recognize that they are worthy of their own needs being met, their own, you know, desires, like little things like that too, like desires, wants, wishes, things like that. This person has never really felt like they were worthy of having those. So I think this relationship actually is something that can really help them. And I think they may be hiding that because they don't know. They don't know that that's what they need, because I don't think they've ever had it before. But when, you know, you come through as this safe haven for them, I think this really might help this person out to understand how to see themselves clearly. Because like I said, this person just gives way too much of themselves, and at the same time not enough of the right stuff. You know, because with Saturn here, there can be a coldness, I think, that this person has. And the Page of Swords here just kind of shows that they don't know better at times. They really just genuinely don't, and they hide that from you because they don't want to seem this way. They don't want to seem like they're a bad match, I think. But I think this person honestly is a very kind soul that just is confused. They just don't know. They don't know any better, I think, a lot of the time. And that's what ultimately gets in their way. But, you know, they hide this from you out of almost respect, I think, because they don't want you, like I said, to choose a better option. But it's, you know, that it seems a little manipulative, I think. But that's the sad energy that you pick up, you know, on the spectrum of Pisces, I feel like, of, you know, you love somebody so much that you want them around so much that you're literally willing to become anything for them. And, you know, this may be what this person kind of struggles with, is that kind of energy. And I feel like it may be more out of habit and, like I said, just not knowing that it's okay for them to be themselves, and not entirely sacrificing themselves in relationships for things to be, you know, okay, and for them to get the love and value that they deserve. So, alrighty, group 3, so that was your message. I hope that it resonated for you guys. So if it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel. If you would like extra pick a card readings from me or a personal tarot card reading, check out the links in my description box to Patreon and Instagram, all linked down below as always. But I'm gonna skedaddle, so I hope to see you guys in a later video. Peace.